All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Alexis. If we haven't met before, I'm going to be teaching a 45-minute body weight strength workout today. Before we get started, we'll just go through our waiver and then we can get warmed up. All right. So, waiver says, in order to make these classes as freely accessible to our participants, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure you have moved nearby furniture and other potential hazards. If you are participating in a yoga class or class that involves laying on the ground, we recommend using a mat, or if you don't have one, a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice or care as needed. William & Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical examination and follow the advice of your healthcare provider before participating. Okay, so I'm going to just start playing my music and my earbuds because we don't want copyright, and then we'll get warmed up. All right, so we're going to start on the ground today in tabletop position. So wrists directly under shoulders, knees directly under hips, and we're just going to take a few cat-cows. So inhaling, dropping the belly, opening up the chest, externally rotating our shoulders. So that's fanning or acting like you're fanning your hands out. And exhaling, arching the back, broadening through the upper back body. So it's inhale, cat, stretching your belly, exhaling, arching your back. So take a few more of these at your own pace to get your spine warmed up for the core work we're going to do today. Last one. Really stretch through your back. And then come back to neutral. We're going to take some bird dog. So that's going to look like is reaching your right hand out like you're shaking someone's hand. And then left leg comes back. Holding for a few seconds. Squeeze through your core. And then come down. And then left hand comes out like you're shaking someone's hand. And right leg. And then coming down. Same thing with the right and left. Right arm, left leg. We want to focus on keeping our low back neutral. No mountains or valleys. Taking a few more. Again, we're getting our core warmed up for the work to come. I finished my last final today, so we're celebrating, getting some energy hopefully. If you've also been working today, this might be your boost to keep working, or maybe go on a walk, have some fun later. Just going to take one more on each side wherever you are. All right, and then we will get into a lunge. Take your left foot forward, and then tuck your toes under, knee comes up, turn towards the leg that's forward to open your chest. Coming down, knee comes down, and then lean back for a hamstring stretch. So we're going to go through that a few more times. So we're going kneel, knee comes up, turn, coming down, and then leaning back for the hamstring stretch. Really breathing into that back of your leg. Lunge, turn. And holding each stretch for a few seconds. This is mostly a dynamic stretch here. This will be your last one on this side. So from our lunge, just switching legs. So we're tucking our toes under, knee comes up, and then turn towards the leg that's forward. This feels really good in my hips. Knee comes down, lean it back for the hamstring stretch. Hamstrings were definitely a little tight. Thinking about peeling our hips back as we lunge. So just taking a few more of these at your own pace. Hopefully you're feeling warmer. We're going to take one more, skin to your lunge, your twist, and your hamstring stretch. All right, then we're going to stand it up for our next set of stretches. You can get there, however you like. So we're going to open our hip, stepping back, and then closing that hip. So open the hip, step slightly behind you, close it. Like you're going over a little hurdle. We're warming up our leg muscles. So your hips and our glutes. One more on this side. And switch legs. Take a couple more. All right, now last thing we'll do is just stretch out our neck. So taking your ear to your shoulder on the left and reaching down with that opposite arm like you drop something on the floor to really feel a stretch in the side of your neck. Coming up to the center, same thing with the other side. We're thinking about taking our shoulders back and down away from our ears, just melting our shoulder blades down our back. And again, reaching with your opposite arm like you drop something. Coming up to center, just nodding, yes. Just stretch the back of our neck. Yes, we're about to have a great workout. This is our last stretch here. One more. Really feel the back of the neck stretch. All right, we're starting with squats today. So what these are gonna look like, so we're gonna take it around the world. So feet are slightly wider than hips, going down, and then turning counterclockwise. So left foot stays planted, right foot is turning around. And make sure you have your footing before you go down into your squat. All right, so when you're ready, join me here. We're gonna have 3 circuits today. First and third circuit are the same. Second one is a little different. So right now around the world, don't go too fast, you might get dizzy. Really think about taking your weight back into your heels, meeting your edge, squeezing your glutes on the way up. Core staying engaged the whole time to keep our low back protected. Feet or toes are pointed slightly outwards to help us with our range of motion. We got plenty of squats today. Your legs will thank you later. Wherever you're at, take one more circle. All right, we can't forget about our left leg. So right leg is gonna stay planted and we'll turn on our left leg. Should start to feel your glutes firing up here. If you're in a smaller space, you can also just take these really standard. If you want a progression, you can add an overhead press. Just lifting your arms up, making sure you're really keeping that core engaged, keeping your low ribs in with your hips. So we're not arching that low back. Let's do 5 more here. And 2, last one. All right, and we've got lunges with a rotation. So let's start with our right leg coming forward. We won't want to step too far. And then we come down, arms come out, turning towards that leg that's forward. And then come back to start. So we're gonna do right leg, and then we'll switch to the left. Twist. Legs are at a 90-90 bend. We don't want that knee coming over those toes. So it's either right over your ankle, or a good method is just to see if you can see your second toe. We're really turning from our core. This is working our obliques as well as our legs, so it's really a full body exercise. Let's take 2 more. Right here, make them good. Last one. And then we're gonna switch sides. We got 2 legs here. So left leg coming forward, and then coming down and twisting towards the leg that's forward. So we just want to make sure we're stepping not too far forward so that our legs are both at 90 degrees. You can act like you're holding a beach ball out in front of you. For when gyms open again, this would be really hard with a medicine ball. Let's take 3 more. Ooh, I'm getting a little sweaty now. All right, last one. All right, everything else is gonna be down on the ground. We got tricep dips. So we're gonna dig our heels into the ground. Wrists are directly under shoulders. Glutes come up, and then we're just gonna bend at the elbows. Making sure our chest stays proud. It's gonna be harder with your feet further away, easier with them a little bit closer. I want you guys to count 12. So if you've already done a few, say we got 5, 3, 2, 1. And now we're coming to our back for glute bridges. So we're taking our heels really close to our glutes, toes are pointed forward, and our heels are gonna, or our hips are gonna come to the sky. Squeeze your glutes at the top, and that's 1. If you need a progression, you can take it single leg, stick a leg out, making sure you're doing the same number on both sides. So let's take 10 here. Making sure you're pausing at the top, really squeezing the glutes. We want our hips to come as high as we can get them while still keeping our low back neutral. So you're gonna find you have to crunch in your core, tilt your pelvis towards you to do that. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're flipping it over. We got a plank series. I'm gonna get my timer ready. Do a 30-second plank. You can do this on your knees or toes. Here we go. Shoulders are right over your wrists. Back is nice and flat. And again, pretending like we're twisting our hands out so that our shoulders are externally rotated. If you want a progression, we got shoulder taps. So take your opposite arm, tap the opposite shoulder while keeping your hips steady. 10 seconds left in this plank. Woo. 3, 2, 1. All right, we can lay down on our belly here. So what we have here is alternating Supermans. So really press your pelvis into the floor. Inhale, and then exhale, we're gonna lift opposite hand and opposite foot. Hold for a few seconds, coming down, and then switching sides. Really squeezing the back muscles. If you've been doing any cycling or even just on the computer, it's really important that we work out our back. If you need an option, you can just do the arm. Make sure you're looking straight down at the floor. You're not cranking your neck. Let's take 3 more on each side. So that was 1. 2, 1 more, both sides. Exhale. All right. So now we're coming back onto our back for some leg lifts. This is for our lower abdominals. We're going to take both of our legs up, making sure our low back is flush with the floor. We're going to take one leg at a time, bring it down to the ground as low as you can get while your low back still stays on the floor, then bring it up. So take the same leg, inhale on the way down, exhale it up. So that was 1, let's do 9 more. The slower you go, the more challenging this is going to be. To really get your abs engaged. You should feel your low abs crunch in order to bring your leg up and in order to keep your low back on the ground. I think we have 3 more. If you've been counting and you did your 10, then maybe you got a break here. So last one, this leg, and then other leg. Bringing it down, coming up. Five more. Inhale down, exhale while you crunch. Last one. All right, last thing in this circuit when we get a little break. Russian twist. So you can keep your heels on the ground. Or for a more challenging option, bring them up. Where we're gonna twist side to side. Act as if you're holding a ball, but really, we're turning from our core, not from our shoulders, because this is much easier than this. Keep that chest proud. Keep it up. If you gotta drop your heels, no shame. Do what's best for you. 15. 10 seconds, you got it. Keep your chest proud. 3, 2, 1. Take a minute break here. We've got 2 more circuits. Just grab a sip of water, towel off any sweat. We might have time for a fourth circuit that's a little bit shorter, but we'll see. You signed up for a 45-minute class, so that's what we're gonna do. Again, it's great to see familiar faces, or not faces, but names. Hopefully you guys are feeling like you're getting a little stronger from all these quarantine workouts. I kind of feel like I am. I've never worked on my arms this much, so that's been kind of cool. All right. If you can believe it, that was about a minute. So the second circuit is different than the first. We're starting with squats again, but this time we have a split squat. So this is where your furniture is going to come in, or you can also just take it 2 legs. Split squat, you're going to take one of your legs behind you, just have the bottom or the top of your foot on your piece of furniture, front leg slightly in front, and then just taking it down. You're thinking kind of diagonally here, rather than straight up and down like a lunge. And again, what we're looking for is that our low back is not crunching. So if you're too close to your furniture, too far away from your furniture, your low back might have to crunch. So just making sure that our low back's staying. All right, so starting with our left leg in front, we got split squats. So shooting our torso back, focusing on keeping our knee over the middle of our foot. We want to be able to see our second toe. Just make sure your knee is staying straight over your foot. We don't want to collapse. I'm sure you guys look beautiful. Take 3 more. 2. Last one. Woo! Shake out that standing leg a little bit. We gotta do our second one. If you're doing just normal squats here, you got a little break before we get back into it. Just make sure alignment's good. And, oh, I'm using the same foot. All right, so make sure you're using the different foot. And we're gonna take 10 here. So same cues here. We don't want our knee to come over our toe. We want our low back to stay nice and neutral. Just think about engaging your glutes. If you've noticed, we've used our glutes on almost every exercise. They're super important. They do a lot for us. Halfway, keep it up. Again, the slower you go, the more difficult it's going to be. Two more. You got it. Last one. Woo. Shake it out. All right, so this time we have a wide-legged squat. So usually our feet are just a little wider than our hips. So take it one heel toe wider for a wide leg squat and bring it down. Weight comes back into your heels. I'm just gonna back up so you can see my face. So you should feel even more of your glutes in this wide leg squat. Also using our thighs more, our abductors. halfway, keep it up. If you want that progression for a cardio burst, you can add a jump. I'm on my top floor, so I'm not gonna do too many. Take whatever option you like. Take 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we have a different kind of lunge this time, got a curtsy lunge. So let's take our left foot behind us, lunge down, and then that's what it's gonna look like. So you come behind, lunge, actually just stay in the curtsy, coming up and down. Again, it's important that our knee is staying tracking over our ankle. So if you need to adjust where your feet are for your alignment, please do so. Take 3 more here. 3, 2, last one. Switching sides. Opposite foot comes behind, bringing it down for a curtsy. Just working our quads and glutes again, but isolating them a little more. Then make sure your knee is staying aligned. Take 3 more here. 3, 2, last one. All right, we're coming back to the floor for a side plank. All right, so come to your favorite side, make sure your shoulders stacked right over your elbow. Hips are gonna stay perpendicular to the ground, and take it up. So we're here for 30 seconds. Your chest is staying open towards the front of the room. If you want an option, we can add a T-spine rotation by threading the needle. This is gonna work our shoulder and our obliques. Five seconds here. Get in one more rotation. All right, come down. We're going 30 seconds on the other side. So again, making sure shoulders over that elbow and coming up. 30 seconds here. Open your chest to the front. Make sure your torso is a nice straight line. If you'd like, adding your T-spine rotation. Make sure you do the same number on this side. Three, 2, 1, drop. All right, so this time instead of Supermans, we have shoulder extensions. So again, pressing our pelvis into the floor, feet are gonna stay on the ground. Inhale and then exhale, bring your head, chest, and shoulders up, and palms are facing the ground as you bring your shoulder blades down your back. Hold for 3 seconds and come down. So when you're ready, join me. We're gonna inhale, exhale up. 1, 2, 3, and then drop. We're working our back once again and our triceps too. Five more. Just a couple more. We look kind of silly, but this is gonna help us with our posture a lot. We're gonna stand straight and tall. Last one. We're flying and down. All right, couple more, and then we get a little break. We're coming onto our backs. So we have scissor kicks. That's gonna look like his feet come up, coming to whatever level. You can still keep your low back on the floor, and then coming in and out like scissors. So we got 1 minute of those right here. So if your legs are closer to the ground, it's gonna be more difficult. If you take it up, it's gonna be a little less. So you can play with that. Really crunching our core, thinking about bringing our low ribs towards our hips. Keep it up, you are strong. If you're shaking, that's great. You got some energy going through your body. Ten seconds. So you're taking a break. Come join us for these last 10. 3, 2, 1. All right. And then before a break, we've got bicycles. So staying on your back, making a little nest for your neck with your thumbs. Knees come straight over your hips. And then we're going to lift our chest and shoulders. So we're crunching through our core. We don't want to put strain on our neck. So if you're not coming super far off the ground, don't worry, you're working your obliques. You're going to take 12 on each side. That was 1, 2. You can count the rest. Almost there. See, keep crunching through your core. Two more each side. Last one. And rest for 1 minute. Woo! We got one more circuit. I think we're gonna be able to fit in a 4th shorter one. So towel off here if you need to. Just grab some water, catch your breath. Our 3rd circuit is the exact as our 1st, so we'll have around the world squats. And then what did we do? And we did that leg lunge with the rotation. We had tricep dips, and then everything on the floor. We got about 10 more seconds here. Since we have those squats coming up, I'm just gonna, real quick, stretch my quads. Whoop. All right, let's not lose our momentum. Let's get into our around the world squats. So just neutral stance here, feet are slightly wider than the hips, and then weight comes back. We're turning with our left leg staying stationary here. And chest is staying proud, looking straight ahead of you. Core is staying in and embraced. Squeezing our glutes all the way to the top. Keeping our core engaged the whole time, so that means no Elvis hips at the top. Take one more rotation. So finish your rotation wherever you are. And then we'll keep our right leg stationary, left leg is turning. You'll probably find squats in every one of my bodyweight workouts. They're just such a good full body exercise for your legs and your core. And they help us throughout our whole life for picking things up. All right, finish your circle wherever you are. So the point of that speech was just that we want to keep squatting our whole life so that we don't lose that ability. All right, lunges. With that rotation, we'll start by taking our left leg forward, arms come out, turn towards your left. That's one. And say 10 more. Thinking legs are 90-90. Glutes are helping you out here. Take 2 more. And then we'll switch sides. So right leg's coming forward. We're going to turn towards our right. Taking 10 on this side as well. If you want an option, your arms can be on your hips, just staying in front of you. Whoop. But I love this exercise because we're working 2 different muscle groups, our obliques as well as our quads. Take 2 more. Last one. All right, we're coming down to the ground here. Take your time getting there. We have tricep dips. So we're going to dig our heels into the ground. Wrists are going to come directly under our shoulders. Coming up, dipping down. Chest is staying proud. Looking straight ahead of us. Really claw your fingers into the floor so there's not too much pressure on our wrists. If you're feeling a pulling in your shoulders, you might be too slanted, so you want to pull your butt closer to your hands. Take 4 more here, you got it. These are our last of class, last one. All right, glute bridges are next. So those heels are gonna come close to your glute. Shins and toes are pointing forward. Take those glutes up to the sky. Hip points pointed straight up. Holding just for about 5 seconds at the top. And then coming down. Get 9 more here. You squeeze your glutes on the way up. If you're into running, this will help you with running as well, because we're working our hamstrings. A lot of runners use mostly their quads. We're activating the back of our leg here as well. Four more here. Last two. And last one. Squeeze at the top. See if you can get your hips just a little higher. All right, and relax. All right. We got our plank once again. All right, 30 seconds. Here we go. You can come on knees or your toes. Thinking about trying to make a crease in the middle of our mat. So we're bringing our toes and our hands together. You don't actually want to do that, you just want to think about it. It activates your core. Adding those shoulder taps, we got 10 seconds. Keeping our hips stable as possible. 3, 2, 1. All right, coming to our stomach for alternating Supermans. And then we'll end with Russian twists. So once again, these are going to be opposite arm and opposite leg coming up on the exhale. So inhale, exhale, arm and leg come up. And then switch sides. Take 8 more. If you want to image, if your torso were a piece of paper, you would be folding the two opposite corners towards each other. And you have the option to just use your arms and work your shoulders here. Two more on each side, so last one each side. All right, coming up for Russian twists. One last oblique exercise, and then we'll cool it down. All right, 30 seconds here. Heels can come up or stay down. Chest is proud. To give a little smile, this is our last exercise of class. Super pretty out here. So I'm going to use this energy from class, maybe go for a walk. Ten seconds. Really think about using the sides of our core to twist. 3, 2, 1. All right, that's it for our working tracks. All right, we have just a minute. Let's take one arm across, stretching that shoulder. And then same thing with the other side. All right, and then inhale those arms up. Exhale, twist to your right. So your left hand comes to your right knee. Other hand reaches behind you to get that nice twist. Inhale to make your spine nice and long, and exhale to get further into the twist. Inhale up, and then exhale to the other side. All right, then we're gonna stand it up to stretch our legs, grabbing that, what's it called? Grabbing your foot, stretch your quad. And then doing the same thing with the other side. We work these a lot in those lunges. I believe we're at 3:45, so if you guys have to get going, you can stretch anything out that you feel like needs a little more attention. We're gonna end here in this forward fold, stretching our back and hamstrings, shining our hips to the sky, thanking our bodies for what they've done today. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording, so if you guys wanna hang out and stick around, that is fine. If you have to get going, also fine. So thank you.